Hey there everybody, UpstartDJ here, commentating on this Pokemon Wi-Fi battle for Slowbroguy against DarkCyan. Why? Well, why wouldn't you want to narrate for Slowbroguy? The guy's a freaking pro. But anyway, Togekiss for DarkCyan, in comes Gliscor for Slowbro. Gliscor wants none of that, so in comes Lanturn to take the Air Slash. Lanturn, real men use Lanturn, so everybody should use him, because Lanturn is just so darn cool. Togekiss is scared off by it, in comes Milotic, and Lanturn will surf the Milotic, whatever you want to call it. This Milotic is a little bit strange though. It still holds the Flame Orb, and I thought the Flame Orb Milotic went out with the 60s and all that. But hey, Milotic scares off Lanturn, in comes Tin Can, and it's Dragon Breath time. Why is he using Dragon Breath? Because it has a 30% chance of inducing paralysis. It's kind of a weak dragon move, but it does allow the neutrality as well. But hey, in comes Tin Can, out goes Milotic, and in comes Fortress, and it's a Stealth Rock Palooza as Tin Can fires some rocks all over the place. I wonder if Fortress will do the same, most likely. In comes Arcanine for Tin Can, and he'll do the Intimidate and all that jazz, and Arcanine is here to threaten the fire move, whilst Fortress flails away, and the Stealth Rocks get blown away by his rapid spin. Out goes Fortress, in comes Rhyperior, and Rhyperior is all so angry, and Rhyperior scares Arcanine off with the Earthquake, and indeed he does do the Earthquake. Good move by Slowbro Man to bring in the Tin Can, because Tin Can has Levitate. Now here's a tricky thing, Rhyperior is now cursing up. I'm not sure why. Tin Can will not do anything to with Earthquake, granted, because Tin Can's weak as hell, it's not stabbed, Rhyperior has Solid Rock, it has a couple of curses, it's not going to do a thing. So, I'm okay with this at the minute. However, DarkCyan is very much aware that there's still a Lanturn on Slowbro's team. Lanturn will be a hell of a lot faster than Rhyperior, and it's not boosting its special defense. So, a Surf will do a lot of damage. Will he be able to see this though? Let's find out. Tin Can just gets hit by a massive Mega Horn, and Rhyperior is so happy he eats his leftovers. Tin Can though goes for another Earthquake. I'm thinking Slowbro just doesn't want to switch here, because if any of Slowbro's pokes get hit by a nasty Mega Horn or an Earthquake, it's gonna hurt. Rhyperior goes for the Ice Punch, maybe thinking a switch, I'm not too sure. But hey, Rhyperior is still happy, but until it gets exploded right in the face. What an explosion, does nothing to Rhyperior, it hardly even scratches him, but misses the Ice Punch, eats his leftovers, and in comes Lanturn. Yes, and Lanturn just surfs. Now Rhyperior is quite a strong poke, it's got a lot of HP, it's got Solid Rock, so it may survive this. But it doesn't. Why? Because real men use Lanturn. Lanturn is hardcore. Come on the Lanturn. Oh yeah. So Lanturn's happy, and in comes Milotic. And again, I don't get this, because Milotic is weak to the Stabbed Electric move. But out goes Lanturn. In comes Gardevoir. And this Gardevoir is a Trick Scarf. I think it's Choice Scarfed. So, it's going to be faster. But this is another strange move that I didn't notice. Slowbro actually tricks the Scarf onto Milotic and gets the Flame Orb. So that means Gardevoir will now get hit by the Flame Orb and Milotic will be pretty quick. So it's going to be strange because Gardevoir will now have this constant burn damage. It did trace Marvel Scale though, but it's not going to happen anymore. Lanturn comes in, and Lanturn, real men use Lanturn. So Slowbro is going to try and scare Milotic off with the Thunderbolt if it can. I think it does. Thing is, Lanturn is just so hard to get rid of, and bringing in a Fortress won't help. Lanturn does hit the Thunderbolt, that will hit Fortress's weaker special defense. It won't KO, but because Lanturn, even though real men use Lanturn, its special attack isn't all that. It will do a lot of damage though, and this may KO. Will it? Will it not? Will it? No, so close. Fortress goes for the Pain Split, which is a brand new move for Fortress, if I remember. I'm not sure. Newish move. I think it came in with Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Not too sure. It must have done. It must have done. But yes, it uses the Pain Split to get some health back. This Fortress is quite a novel Fortress. It has a few moves that will surprise you. But anyway, in comes Arcanine, and Arcanine will reduce its attack with Intimidate. But Fortress gets a Reflect Up, which is again a very strange move for a Fortress to have. Usually you'd say Light Screen was a bit better. Now, Arcanine wants to get the Will-O-Wisp bomb because he's very well aware that Fortress can explode, and it wants Arcanine to take as little damage as possible. but then he doesn't want to risk another, so he gets the Flare Blitz. And even with the Reflect, sorry, it doesn't actually kill. The times 4 weakness, it's not enough, and Fortress is able to get the explosion in. If only I was able to get my words in. Arcanine surprisingly does survive, though Fortress is a little weak, so the explosion didn't do that much. Intimidate helped a lot as well. So in comes Togekiss like a jet plane, and in comes Gliscor, and it's just like the match is just restarted all over again. Togekiss hits the Flamethrower, which is always a great move on a Togekiss, given the Serene Grace allows a burn, hopefully, but Togekiss gets the hell out of there, brings in Milotic, and Milotic wants to get the Ice Beam or the Surf or whatever moves it has. It most likely has the Surf because it has Dragon Breath. You know. So Gliscor gets out of there, fearing the Surf. In comes Lanturn once again, but it's the Dragon Breath, and this will do a bit of damage. Yeah, well, it won't actually. It'll just paralyze Lanturn, which is pretty big. However, Lanturn does have a move to help itself. I'm not sure when it uses it. I forgot. Excuse me. Another Dragon... Yeah, there we go. Heal Bell. Yeah, Lanturn uses Heal Bell. All of Slowbro's status ailments, problems are gone, and all Milotic can do is just Dragon Breath, try and get as much damage on the Lanturn as possible, but Lanturn is just going to Thunderbolt Milotic out of this game. Dragon Breath is a very weak move, so watch out if you use it on your Milotic. Most people usually go for Toxic or Ice Beam as a secondary attack move, but what can you do? Back comes Togekiss, and Togekiss somehow scares out... Lanturn, but Togekiss does go for the Aura Sphere, which is a great switch from Slowbro because Gliscor takes half damage from the Aura Sphere. So out goes Togekiss again, and in comes Jinx. Again, a strange move because Gliscor hits the Earthquake, and so great prediction by Slowbro, but Jinx has a weaker physical defense, so you don't really want to have your special attacker exposed to that kind of attack. Out goes Gliscor, in comes Gardevoir. This Gardevoir is not Choice Scarfed anymore because it tricked it, remember. Jinx hits the Ice Beam and that'll take it to 36, but because Gardevoir lost her Scarf and is now burned, the Signal Beam will take out Gardevoir. So maybe tricking too early. We'll see if that's a problem later in the game. Jinx does get intimidated. It's not going to matter much because Arcanine just uses the extreme speed. Oh yeah, this puppy is going extreme, baby. And Jinx is out of there. Poor Jinx. I quite like Jinx, even though she's a little creepy. But anyway, Arcanine's pretty happy. He's got his leftovers. And in comes Infernape. And Infernape gets hit by an extreme speed, as you'd expect. Again, Infernape is another Pokemon which is very weak physically, but it does take the extreme speed well, and it hits the Stone Edge, which is great. Because if it used close combat, it would have weaker defense. But in comes Upstart's Pokemon of the day. It's Lanoon, and Lanoon is a choice band Lanoon, and it hits the extreme speed, and that is bye-bye Infernape. Why did I pick Lanoon? I don't know why, but at least the Pokemon of the day is doing something. Unlike Poliwrath. Lanoon hits the extreme speed on Togekiss, and this will do a crap load of damage given the choice band, given the stab, but Togekiss does hit the Aura Sphere, and Togekiss wants this to one-hit KO so badly. Togekiss needs this. Does it happen? Of course it does. What a strong move by Togekiss, and this game is close. But in comes Lanturn, threatens the Ice Beam, threatens the Thunderbolt. Togekiss needs this Aura Sphere to crit, basically. And because Lanturn has great special defense, it is not happening. That will be the kill. That will be the game. Thank you for watching. I've been UpstartDJ. Good game, DarkCyan. Stay close to Slowbro's channel for more battles. Till then, see you later, guys.